The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, fuck the opposition, and all that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable.
Menu narration option is set to off. Menu narration option is set to off.
I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State at TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, it's Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Third and short yardage, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now a give right side. It's Evans, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll try the left side. It's Evans, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Well, look now at our starting defense. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now they've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
Now they try the right side here. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. On 3rd down, Smith. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll try the left side. Evans. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Carson, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Bridgewater under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jordan. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taking it about the 16. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
On 3rd down, it's Evans. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down.
But that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
Watson on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Jags grab it. And some space here. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. And how about the big boys showing off the wheels?
Let's face it. Anybody who watches a game, even if it goes against your team, when there's a big man with the football, everyone locks in.
All eyes.
Everyone locks in, and the rumbling, you can feel it all the way to the upper reaches of the stands.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Bridgewater. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Another try after the first down sack. Watson. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Third down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way. Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
From the red zone now, Watson, that's caught, it's Thomas. And he can't quite get there, tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Texans push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Jaguars. David Moore, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right, and they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Out of the gun, Watson. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. You can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
So we have reached the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
22 yards there, a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
On first down, it's Evans. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll run on first down. It's Evans. He'll have a first down inside the 10. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside?
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, yep. Backside guys?
Man.
That's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? They'll keep it on the ground. Evans, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Texans push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They're going to run again with Snell. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken at about the 14. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And now out come the Jags. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10.
Rush in! Rush in! Rush in!
Starting the drive was Snell. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think? Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust. And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Now a 1st down throw. Watson eluding the pressure right. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
A give to Smith out of the gun.
Watch the whip. Ship.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
From the 22, Bridgewater. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Bridgewater on 4th down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll try the left side. It's Evans. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. From 17 yards out. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Draw play, and it's Snell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with third down coming up. On third down, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded at the 20. A good return there, 17 yards.
Let's go.
And now out comes Houston. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. The end result, 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The open man is Westbrook. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Reset. 19. Mike 50. We own them. We own them.
Throwing now, Watson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual
it.
Guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this fight? Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
Mm-hmm.